Hello, I am Stephanie Joy, the attorney at All Things Social Security and Joy Disability Law. Your video is about to start. I just wanted to remind you that if you click the join button below, you can learn more about the memberships offered at a very affordable price that can give you a little more direct attorney answers to your questions. Have a great day and enjoy the video. Hey, a quick midday share on just a function report discussion, perhaps a little tip for anyone who has this issue. Question number 14 talks about what household chores you can do. Now, I would take a look at what you do and represent it accurately, but in a way that's, not damaging if it doesn't have to be. So viewer KK Shar, thank you so much, asks about what if you can do laundry and you do laundry, but it takes you, 2 hours because you have to sit for a little bit and rest in between doing some of these things, then sit and then stand for a little bit, blah, blah, blah. Okay. When you describe that you do laundry, I wouldn't just say laundry, that I can and I do laundry. I would definitely explain, and again, you might remember, don't feel the need to use full sentences when you explain something because they give you a limited space for a reason, and you really don't want to exhaust them anymore when they're reading your information. But with regard to laundry, there's two things about laundry I want to bring up. One, au natural, is that there is downtime when there is laundry. So if a load from start to end takes 2 hours, you're not doing 2 hours of activity, even if you're not disabled. The best of us, we're not active during those 2 hours unless we're off doing something else like the dishes or vacuuming or something. But for someone who's just talking about laundry, and like KK Shar, who says, I sit and I stand and I rest all in between. So it doesn't sound like that extends the task of laundry if you're still getting it done in 2 hours. Because I know my laundry, my washing machine and my dryer, it's going to take 2 hours, probably more, to do a full load. Our problem is we don't get down in between because we go off and do other things. But I would say I do laundry. It takes 2 hours or whatever it takes, but I sit, rest, and alleviate my pain while it's running. So if you can add up and maybe go ahead and do it and see what is the actual active time that you are doing laundry versus waiting for the machine to run its course for 40 minutes. You follow what I'm saying? So I would make it clear if your task of doing laundry is, you could be putting the laundry in the washer and starting it. What is that? 5 minutes tops, 3 minutes, and then you let it run for however long these things run. You see, I don't do laundry often enough. Then I would say, then I go lie down or whatever you do. If you're out, doing vigorous things, obviously you always have to be honest, but you might not be disabled if you're doing that. But if what you're doing is laundry and then, maybe you do, 5 minutes of something else, and then you go rest until you hear the buzzer on the washing machine. Then you rise from your rest and you go and you move the laundry from the washer to the dryer. Also be careful when you describe this. If your condition is such that bending down into a washing machine is not possible, if that's what you allege that you can't bend, but you're bending in, over and in, that could be a problem. Now, if you have a front loader and it's raised up, and so you don't have to do that, make that clear. We got a front loader because I can't bend, and it's raised, I would add those details, however, abbreviated, to make it clear that you're not, doing a vigorous running around, load of laundry and other chores in between, because you can literally run around for 3 hours, no problem. Those rests in between, I mean, when you think about it, and I'm thinking about when I do laundry, I would say 10 minutes. Now, if I fold, maybe that's 15 minutes. And that could be, some people like KK Shar, maybe he does it all in one, he or she does it all in one event, very timely, very on top of it. Like when he hears the buzzer, gets up from the rest, then there's other people who put the, washer on and then don't come back until the next day, or they'll come back at the end of the day. They don't necessarily listen to a buzzer. They come back kind of really on their own schedule. I would make that clear too. I've seen people explain how they load a laundry from start to finish. It might take 3 days because they wash one day, they dry the next, and then they fold, the third day, or even sometimes much later. It really depends on how you do it. But if you don't do it, if you do it in a way where you are resting in between versus being a housekeeper who would be moving on to the next part of her job, I'd make that clear, because you don't want them to think you can be doing housekeeping, which is a job that they nail on people. I think it's considered light. So people who are limited to light work, not sedentary, but light, can't do medium heavy work. I've seen housekeeping, which would be usually a hotel housekeeping crew. So you want to show, I think, for that, KK, that you are doing it differently. You're not just doing laundry amongst other chores. And there's probably other chores, things like that apply to. I can't think off the top of my head. Could be dishes. Sometimes people, let's say you don't have a dishwasher. You do a few dishes for 3 or 4 minutes at a certain time in the morning. You haven't finished them, but you got to get off your feet. Or the bending into the sink is troublesome. That stooping can be very, very difficult for people with a bad back. That's something that you could say, I do dishes, but this is how I do it. I can't get them done in one foul swoop. I have to break it out over the day. That is a broad a broad statement of break it out over the day, but I think it holds meaning, because it indicates you don't finish the task in a timely manner. You get it, even if yes, I get my things done, but this is how I do it. Okay. Anyway, I hope that helps that. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Hey, so if the subject matter of the video you just listened to is of interest and you want more on it, stay tuned. Here's another one about the same topic, but a little bit different. Bye now. Hey, this is for you with regard to question number 14 on the function report. So I see an answer that says, and let me just see if I can read it more clearly. It's under house and yard work. And the question asks, list household chores, both indoors and outdoors, that you are able to do. For example, cleaning, laundry, household repairs, ironing, mowing, etc. Okay. So what is not a good response? Unless it's absolutely accurate, which I've never, ever heard of. Because the people for whom it would be accurate are probably bedridden. Okay. So if someone says that they don't do any housework because of pain and limitations of whatever sort, I want you to just think about that in a little different light when you answer this, okay? When you eat something, do you take your plate to the sink? I didn't say clean the kitchen. Did you take your plate to the sink? Do you do that basic minor chore? Because it would be a really, really, really severely disabled person that probably, again, is probably not even just a wheel-bound person, because I think wheelchair bound often does things like that. So what I'm getting at is most people do at least clean up their footprint behind them. That would be taking your plate to the sink. It could be if you cut a piece of toast, you wipe up your crumbs and don't leave them on the counter for a week, inviting mice or whatever. We're not talking about anything hefty. I'm not even talking about doing the dishes. But then some people might say, and I wash my own dish, and then later I put it away. There are things that are so literally just a few seconds that I think not acknowledging that you do them, probably because you didn't think about it, would leave the impression that you're not being honest, which then can kill credibility for a whole case, or that you're really lazy and that the reason why you're not doing more isn't because of the impairments, which clearly you could do that, but then you're just lazy. So you don't really want either one of those kind of behind the scenes impression, even if it's not spelled out and will never be stated as such when you're denied. So let's be as accurate as we can with this one, okay? Again, if it's something small, it could be that you, when you take your clothes off to go to bed, you put them in a hamper. Doesn't mean you do the laundry, you know, you don't have to say you do laundry. Put clothes in hamper. Turn off the lights. You know, there's all these little things. So give it some thought, and try to make sure you have a properly responsive answer, okay? And then we'll go through the rest of them as we go along here. All right, thanks, bye.